Don't overthink it. Simplify decisions, eliminate doubt, enhance joy in life. Point 1. Good living is all about good thinking. Focus on what's important. Let's talk about thinking. It's something we do all the time, right? From choosing our breakfast to crafting the perfect email response, our brains are always on the go. But sometimes we get stuck in a loop of overthinking. You know, when you spend hours fretting over a two-line email from your boss or wondering why your mom hasn't called back yet. According to Yale psychology professor Dr. Susan Nolan Hoeksema, this kind of overthinking can lead to stress, anxiety, and even depression. Not fun, right? So, how do we fix this? Well, it's all about the quality of our thoughts. Overthinking is like running on a treadmill. You're working hard, but you're not getting anywhere. It's tiring, and it's not doing you any good. Instead, we need to focus on having productive, positive thoughts. Think of it as swapping out that treadmill for a scenic hike. You're still working your brain, but you're actually getting somewhere and enjoying the view along the way. But it's not just about how we think, it's also about what we think about. We need to focus our thoughts on the things that really matter in our lives. Forget about the small stuff like whether to return those jeans or why the washing machine isn't as hot as it used to be. Instead, let's concentrate on the big stuff: our relationships, our careers, our health, and our personal growth. So, what's the takeaway here? Living well isn't just about making good decisions. It's about thinking well too. It's about focusing our mental energy on the important stuff and not wasting it on unnecessary worries. By doing this, we can stop doubting ourselves, avoid decision fatigue, and bring more joy and peace into our lives. It's about taking control of our thoughts, thinking well, and living well. So, let's stop overthinking and start living. Point 2. Stop overthinking by training your brain to think differently. Let's talk about overthinking. You know, that habit of turning things over and over in your mind until you're stuck in a loop of worry and doubt. It's not a fun place to be, but the good news is it's not a permanent state. Overthinking is a habit, and like any habit, it can be changed. You might be thinking, but I've always been an overthinker. It's just who I am. But here's the thing. Overthinking isn't a part of your identity. It's a behavior, something you've learned to do over time. And just like you learn to overthink, you can learn to think differently. Think of it like this. Your brain is a bit like a well-worn path. The more you walk down a certain path, the more familiar and easy it becomes. That's what's happened with overthinking. You've walked down that path so many times that your brain automatically goes there. But you can create a new path. How? By practicing new ways of thinking. This might mean challenging those negative thoughts that pop up, focusing on the here and now instead of worrying about the future, or being kinder to yourself. For instance, instead of beating yourself up over a mistake, acknowledge it, learn from it, and then move on. Instead of fretting about what might happen tomorrow, focus on what you can do today. Instead of being your own worst critic, be your own best friend. At first, these new ways of thinking might feel a bit awkward or forced. That's because you're creating a new path in your brain, and it's not well-trodden yet. But the more you practice, the stronger and more automatic these new ways of thinking will become. There are plenty of strategies to help you along the way. You can learn to filter out thoughts that aren't helpful or healthy, develop techniques to stop overthinking in its tracks, and learn to pivot gracefully when things don't go as planned. So, remember, overthinking is a habit, and habits can be changed. By practicing new ways of thinking and reinforcing these new thought habits, you can break the cycle of overthinking and bring more joy and peace into your life. It might take some time and effort, but trust me, it's worth it. Point 3. Don't get stuck in analysis paralysis. Overthinking can freeze you up. Ever found yourself stuck in a supermarket aisle, staring at a wall of peanut butter jars, unable to decide which one to pick? You're not alone. This is a classic case of what's known as analysis paralysis. It's when you overthink to the point where you can't make a decision and end up stuck in a rut. So, how do you know if you're caught in the grips of analysis paralysis? Well, there are a few telltale signs. You might find yourself putting off decisions, hoping that a better option will magically appear. Or maybe you're always looking for more choices, even when you've got plenty. You might keep going over the same information, scared of making the wrong choice. Or perhaps you wait so long to decide that the chance slips away. And even after you've made a decision, you might find yourself doubting it. Now, what causes this analysis paralysis? For some, it's their natural curiosity. If you're a smarty pants, you might see a whole bunch of possibilities that others don't, which can make even simple decisions seem complicated. While being curious is usually a good thing, it can lead to analysis paralysis because you're always looking for more options, even when you don't need them. Another culprit is information overload. In today's digital world, we're bombarded with so much information that it can be overwhelming. While having lots of information can be helpful when making decisions, it can also lead to analysis paralysis. You might find yourself stuck in a loop, always looking for that one last piece of information that will make everything clear. And let's not forget about perfectionism. If you're a perfectionist, you might find yourself putting things off until you can find the perfect solution. You might think in black and white terms, struggle to finish projects because there's always more that could be done, focus on the flaws, and constantly second-guess your past decisions. So, how do you break free from analysis paralysis? The first step is to just do something. You don't need more information. You need to get moving. It doesn't have to be a big step. Even a small action can help shift your momentum and get you out of the rut. Another trick is to let go of perfectionism. Being a perfectionist can make you overly critical and not much fun to be around. Plus, when you're in a bad mood, you're more likely to overthink. Remember, things don't have to be perfect to be good. In a nutshell, analysis paralysis is when you overthink so much that you can't make a decision. It can be caused by being too curious, having too much information, or being a perfectionist. But by taking action and letting go of perfectionism, you can beat analysis paralysis and make decision-making a breeze. Point 4. Can't decide between two good things? Just pick one and move on. Overthinking can be a real roadblock in our lives, especially when we're faced with two equally appealing options. It's like being stuck between a rock and a hard place. And the more we think about it, the more we get stuck. This is what's known as analysis paralysis, a state where we're so caught up in our thoughts that we end up doing nothing. Let's paint a picture. Say you've got two job offers on the table. Both are from top-notch companies, offer a handsome salary, and are right up your career alley. You're torn, unsure of which one to pick. You might think that mulling over it a bit more will help you make the right choice. But here's the thing. There's a point where thinking becomes overthinking, and that's where the trouble starts. It's important to remember that just because a decision is important doesn't mean we need to take ages to make it. Sometimes we just need to bite the bullet and make a choice. It's not about rushing, but about knowing when you've given enough thought to something and it's time to move. But how do you know when you're overthinking? It's not always easy, but with a bit of practice, you can spot the signs. Here are a few to look out for. 1. When you're stuck between two good options. Like the job scenario we talked about earlier, having two great choices can be a real pickle. Waiting for the right answer to magically appear can lead to analysis paralysis. 2. When you know what to do but are dragging your feet. Sometimes we know what we need to do, but we just don't want to do it. We might keep looking for a better solution, even when we know it's not coming. This could be because we're feeling lazy, the solution isn't perfect, or we're worried about looking silly. But once we know what needs to be done, it's time to get on with it. 3. When you're beating yourself up, there are times when we might have moved forward on the outside, but on the inside, we're still stuck. We might look like we're making progress, but mentally and emotionally, we're still in the same place. In these cases, it's important to move forward completely, in thought and in action. In a nutshell, overthinking can stop us from moving forward. It's crucial to recognize when we're overthinking and take steps to move on. This doesn't mean making hasty decisions, but understanding when we've thought enough and it's time to act. Point 5. Clear your mind to make better decisions. You can't decide everything. Ever felt overwhelmed by the sheer number of decisions you have to make in a day? That's what we call decision